to get Horloff into play. Little bit of a sloth was Horloff, trying to get it out of his feet. He managed to get it in towards Almada. He sent it towards the left-hand side, and then the cross in towards the box. Met Simeone at the far post from Ruggeri, and he just knocks it down underneath the keeper. Jahir trying to get himself across his goal line, can't get hold of it, and it's a fiery start for Atletico Madrid, who lead in Turkey by a goal to nil. And it's an excellent start to the away side, to the Spanish side. We mentioned their record in Turkey. They've lost just once in 14 games against Turkish sides. That was back in 1999 against Ankaragücü, which winning the last 5 games. The Spanish side have won 6 of their last 7 against Turkish sides, including, as we've said, the last 4. And unbeaten in that last 6 games between the two sides as well. 4 wins, 2 draws, winning 2-0 both away and at home back in the 2015-16 group stage. The last time these two sides met 10 years ago now, and Antoine Griezmann scored all 4 of those goals, and he is on the bench for Atleti tonight. A legend of the club is Griezmann. And it's a free kick, just goes the home side's way inside the centre circle. A handball just coming off Barrios in the middle of the park. So Atleti started brightly. Alvarez got himself down the right, tried to squeeze one through, but it hit the side netting. But then straight away after that, giving themselves the early advantage as they lead by a goal to nil. Karabag also lead by a goal to nil against Frankfurt. We mentioned how many goals they can score, but they concede just as many. Back to Osimhen, who can also score plenty of goals. 6 in 4 for him this season in the Champions League. But it's Atleti trying to get the ball out, but it's picked up in the middle nicely by Sanchez. Works it towards the right-hand side, towards Salah. Can Sane wield a little bit of magic with a touch of the dice? It's played back in towards the former Atleti man Torreira. Finds the overlap with Osimhen, keeps on going back in towards Sane, who tried to cut it back towards the penalty spot, but a little bit too far behind him, and it allows Atleti to attack down the left-hand side with Alvarez space in front of him for Horloff. Good defensive work though at the back from Barkachi, who just got himself across his man. He was the last line of defence for the away team, for the home team, and just about did enough to force it out for a throw-in on this near side, right next to where the dugouts are. Back with Oblak over on the right-hand side. One of the most decorated La Liga keepers. He's one of those that stuck by a club for many, many years. We found that with the likes of Griezmann, despite his few spells away, or his spell away, has returned. Koke as well in that midfield and on the ball now. A one-man club, trying to send it down the right-hand side. Over 500 appearances for him at Atleti. A real legend of the game. You don't tend to see it too much in football. A player stick around their entire career at one club. It's a dying art, but if you find your way into Simeone's team and can enjoy playing with quite a fiery manager, you'll certainly get plenty out of it, and you certainly will enjoy it. But it's 8.5 minutes into this game, and it's the Atleti fans that are crowded in the corner here who are enjoying the opening 10 minutes of this contest as they lead here in Galatasaray by a goal to nil. They've lost the last 2 in this competition, Galatasaray. They won't want to lose a third in a row. They had an incredible unbeaten run last season. They even went unbeaten in 2025 from the 2nd of February to the 18th of September. 3 defeats since then. There's the masked man up front. Osimhen just giving the foul away on Pubil at the back. The 22-year-old Spaniard, just his 4th Champions League appearance for Atleti. was one of Spain's Olympic gold medalists in 2024. And it's a free kick that goes Atleti's way, right in the middle of their own half, halfway inside their own half. It's knocked towards Sorloth, just holds off his man and knocks it down towards the right-hand side. Brought back into play nicely by Alvarez. Sends it one more over towards Simeone, but his first touch a little bit heavy. Forced in towards the channel. Tries to bring it back onto his left, 10 yards off the corner of the area. Good defensive work inside the park from Koke. Managed to win it back towards Simeone down the right-hand side. Chance for him to cross it. Blocked on the first step. Pulled back in towards Alvarez. Skips us one. Tries to skip past two, but excellent work in the end, in the middle from Torreira. Just puts his foot through it, and now the attack from Yilmaz. Yilmaz down the right-hand side, still going towards the corner of the area. Being sat up by Pupil, takes him onto his left, but tries to do too much and just about forced back by Koke, but he does manage to win it back and brings it in towards Torreira. 15 yards off the left corner of the area now for the home side. Back in towards Yilmaz, swings a wonderful ball into the area, and it's just about dealt with by Hanko at the back. Jan Oblak was coming out, got nowhere near the ball. The defender just about managing to get his head onto it. Osimhen was there, and further behind him, Sane lurking as well. Right at the back post, but a wonderful cross into the box. It'll be a corner kick to the home side. And their first opportunity from a set piece to put pressure on the Atleti box. 11 minutes into this game. There's two sat on top of Oblak. There's three on the penalty area trying to form their own routine. Yilmaz will take this corner right-footed from the near side. Out swinging. There is one that is short. 15 yards towards the corner of the area, but it will be paused for a moment while the referee has a word in the middle with Sanchez and with Simeone. Happy to play on. Yilmaz, arms dropped to his side, plays it in towards the near post. Can't quite be flicked on well enough in the middle by Torreira. Opportunity then for Atletico to come away with the ball, but it's lost inside the middle nicely by Atgun, who just picks the pocket, tries to get himself closer towards the box. The opportunity to shoot opened up for him more and more, decided against it, and in the end couldn't make a decision at all as the ball's been cleared back towards the halfway line, and Sane will start from the left hand side, and Galatasaray will work it back in towards their own box to allow the players to reset themselves before they go again. With Sanchez just inside the Atleti box, plays it in towards Leroy Sané. A little bit sluggish to get hold of the ball, then just collapses onto the floor, but he's absolutely fine. But he's not when he looks up and sees that Atleti have the ball and they're pushing towards the right hand side. It's with Koke, plays it in towards Simeone, back into the box looking for Sorloth. It's headed on towards the far side of the box, but it's Salai who just about gets hold of it and clears the ball down the line, but it's picked up on the halfway line by Atleti, who are going to come again. It's with Alvarez, just skips himself past one. He's having an excellent season this year. Can't quite get it past Sanchez at the back. Will win a throw in on this near side. An opportunity for the long throw to come in, but he's having an excellent season. Is Alvarez, one of those many players that finds themselves at a big club, just doesn't quite work out. Not that Atleti aren't a big club, but found themselves at a particular club with one of the best strikers in the world in Haaland. And he didn't want to play second fiddle to Erling Haaland, despite it being quite a formidable partnership in the early stages of their time together. As Frankfurt have equalised away at Karabag, it's 1-1 there. Kanuzun, top scorer for Frankfurt this season. Back in towards the middle for Atleti, just playing it inside the Galatasaray half. They've started the brighter 30 minutes into this game. Ball in towards the boxes, poorly dealt with. It's gone out for a corner kick to Atleti, but it is just about dealt with. At the back, it was El Mali unmarked in the box. The ball came in from the near side. He just got his knee to it. A moment of silence from the Galatasaray fans as they waited to see where that was going to go. It ended up just going comfortably behind for a corner kick. No real threat on Chihir in the goal, but it isn't over yet with Alvarez standing over the corner kick from the near side and in swinging in towards the 6-yard box. Punched out by Chihir. And it's an excellent punch as well, which will allow Galatasaray to get themselves out of their box. But it's back with Alvarez down this near side, surrounded by three. Plays it in towards the middle, but it's forced back towards Barrios, who in turn retreats back towards his keeper, Jan Oblak, on the edge of the D of his own penalty area. Pushed towards the far right-hand side. It's a confident start on the road from Atleti in towards Sorloth. Managed to keep hold of the boys one-on-one, but the referee gives a free kick against the big number 9 for Atleti. This 30-year-old Norwegian, just 2 goals in 17 Champions League appearances, son of Norway international Goran Sorloth. But referee Istvan Kovac, the referee of the final last year, given the decision against him, a rather harsh decision really. He's a big number 9. He'll put his weight about, and he just did a little bit too much, just pushing the Galatasaray defender off the ball. It's sent long towards the halfway line, can't quite find Osimhen. Taken down inside the middle by Torreira. His pass is a loose one towards the right-hand side, and Koke will pick it up and find his centre midfield partner Barrios, but he's quickly surrounded by 3 and will go all the way back towards Oblak. So possession-wise, very even inside the opening 15 minutes, 50% each. As it stands, Atleti look a little bit more controlling on the ball when they do get hold of it. They're giving it away, though, in the middle as Lamina read it like a book and picks it off. Finds a pass in towards Torreira, but his touch in towards Osimhen a little bit too hard. So Osimhen can't quite control it, and Atleti will come away inside their own half. There's space towards the left-hand side, but it's got to be worked there, and it's almost a hospital ball in the middle for Akgun and Koke to both try and challenge for. Koke, the closest one, just about got there ahead of his man. Down in towards Ruggeri on the left-hand side. Sane in his retreating years now, doing the defensive work at the back. The 30-year-old German, 78 Champions League appearances to his name, 23 goals, most of those coming at Bayern Munich. One of the fastest players in his prime. Former Senegal international Souleymane Sane's son. Sane plays obviously for German side. 16.5 minutes then played. Good end-to-end game to start this one. Both sides trying to control. It's Atleti who control the scoreboard, though, but it's Osimhen trying to work his magic in the middle of the park and just to start something for the home side. Galatasaray, though, can't get through. Quite a stubborn midfield line that Atleti have at the moment is what Simeone comes to do. Snatch and grabs where he can. Solid defensive unit at the back. Sane trying to open up the space in the middle as he drives across the edge of the area. Pulls it back towards El Mali. His strike is blocked, though, by Barrios on the edge of the box, and Alfred thrown over on the far side. So can Galatasaray just start to build some momentum here? Less than 20 minutes gone in this game. It's fairly even on the pitch, but it's Atleti who lead, and it's down the right-hand side again with Akgun trying to create something, but crowded out by 2 Atleti defenders, and really good defensive work. Ruggeri and Almada will join together to win the throw-in on this near side, halfway inside the Atleti half, leading on the road by a goal to 0. They haven't done that many times this season, just 4 wins in 13 away games in all competitions this season. They haven't kept a clean sheet in the Champions League, despite being in the top 8, Atletico Madrid. And this is one of the games that people will look out for in this round. There were some excellent results yesterday as well. The emergence of the Norwegian side, Bodo Glimt scoring historic 3-1 victory at home to Man City, their first ever Champions League win with 2 goals, quick succession. Rodri being sent off as well. A result that jeopardises City's hopes of finishing the top 8 without having to go into the playoff, and also forced the players to offer a refund to the travelling City fans. That took place yesterday evening. Arsenal retained their 7 wins in a row in the Champions League, beating Inter Milan on the road by 3-1 with a look to be a second-string Arsenal side, although it is a second-string side. It is a second string that costs more than the Inter Milan side that currently tops Serie A. But the side that currently top the Turkish league and dominate it year after year on the ball. They aren't the side that is unbeaten in the Turkish league. That does go to second place. Fenerbahce down the right hand side from Sane, pulled back across the box. It's put into his own goal by the Atleti defender, and it's horrible for Llorente at the back. It was Salah who found himself in space after a wonderful Sane move to open it up down the right hand channel. Salah just put it back across into the 6-yard box, and Llorente, getting his feet all muddled up, just puts it into the back of his empty own net. And Sane saw the overlap down the right hand side. Salah put it into the box. There was nobody around Llorente. It's just poor defending. It wasn't a difficult cross to deal with. He just couldn't get his left boot around it, and he's hacked at it, and he's tucked it home into the middle of his own goal. And we mentioned Atleti not being able to keep a clean sheet in the Champions League this year. Well, they've just gifted a goal to Galatasaray, who level it here. It's Galatasaray 1, Atleti 1, and out of absolutely nowhere, the home side are on level terms. It's the Atleti on the right-hand side with Simeone. Can they find an instant play? He goes for a strike, but it's 5 yards wide of the left-hand upright. That's celebrated by the Lions fans over to the left-hand side. They're on their feet now. They're enjoying the game a little bit more than they were moments ago. It was a slow burner from their perspective, and all it takes is a mistake at the back, something to make a change, and it's going to feel good. As Michael Jackson once sang, don't know why that came into my head. Almost did a Shamol for you, but I'll save them for if there's potential another goal within the game. It's a good tackle though from Llorente over on the right hand side just to get there ahead of Yilmaz, who was coming in like a traction engine over on that left hand side. Bullet train. It's going to be a throw into the home side. There's throw inside the box, but it's taken short by El Mali down towards the centre half. Bardacci. 1-1 it is then here at Rams Park in Istanbul. Salah, who is playing in the right back role for Galatasaray, normally is a winger, the 28-year-old Hungarian. It's his 15th Champions League game. Very experienced as well at international level, is the former Freiburg man. And he gets the assist from the right-hand side. And Galatasaray level. Halfway then inside the first half, it's level pegging here on the scoreboard. Nothing to separate either of these two sides. Galatasaray with the ball inside the middle, just trying to work it back and open the space. They'll shift it from left to right to try and do that. Sent long, looking for Sane, who was the one who really opened up the space more than anything to allow the cross from Salah. But it's a loose ball in the middle that's picked up comfortably by Barrios. Goes back towards his keeper in Oblak. He's under plenty of pressure though, and so is Hanko, who's equally under pressure on the edge of his own box, but just manages to work it to the right side and gets himself away. Sends a long ball down the left-hand side looking for Alvarez, but his header goes to nobody. And now Sane will pick up the ball. Excellent linking up of play with that gun in the middle. Galatasaray just starting to show a little bit of confidence now. It's back with their goalkeeper Çakir. The 29-year-old Turkish goalkeeper, his 9th appearance in the Champions League, conceded 10 now in those 9 games. Played in all the appearances this season. Saved the only penalty he's come across against as well. It's in the middle of the Atleti half with the away side in that all blue strip. Sent long down the left hand side. Good interceptive tackle on this near side, but he comes back out towards Alvarez on the edge of the area. Goes for a strike, but it's over the top of the crossbar. 5-6 yards over the left hand corner of the bar from Alvarez. He got lucky with how the ball came to him. It was down the left hand side towards Salah. He got in there first with his tackle, but his tackle ended up finding Alvarez with the pass, who tried to open up the space onto his right, go for the top corner, but it's excellent from a Galatasaray perspective, just managing to put off the exciting Atleti attacker. And Atletico tried to come away with the ball in the middle, and they'll win a free kick as well as a leg just left in by Lemina. On Koke towards the right hand side. The experienced Koke knows exactly what he is doing, the 34-year-old. 711 appearances to his name in all competitions across his footballing career at Atletico Madrid. It's his 109th appearance in the Champions League, and that means that it is only Jan Oblak who can even get close to him for any of those tallies. It's with Galatasary down the left-hand side. The keeper, Oblak, mention him and he shall appear. Just gets himself towards the edge of the box, cuts through 3 Atleti defenders and 2 Galatasaray attackers to get hold of the ball first. And push it out now towards the left-hand side. Brings Ruggeri into play. Got the assist to open the scoring in this game. Tries to work it into Mills towards Alvarez, who's crowded out by 2, and now Galatasaray will come away with space on the left-hand side. Finds Osimhen towards the right-hand side. He lofts it towards Yilmaz over on the left-hand side, but it's too far and aims now towards the left-hand corner. And Yilmaz can't quite get himself onto the ball, and Atleti will come away. 20 minutes to go then inside the first half of this game. End-to-end football here, a really enjoyable Champions League contest. They both got everything to play for. A draw and a point may be enough for both sides. In terms of the top 8 though, Atletico will want to win to try and secure themselves that top 8 berth. It's with Barrios. Plays it back towards the edge of his own area towards Hanko. Continues it back towards Oblak. Works it forward in towards Puba. Alvarez inside his own half. 4 attempts to 2 in Atleti's favour, and Alvarez has probably had 3 of those from an Atleti perspective. With Ruggeri, tries to send it in towards Alvarez, making the run in towards the middle, but an excellent tackle from Atgun just to intercept. Back across towards Alvarez, tries to get across in towards the box. Sanchez with the first clearance and then manages to get the second as he just puts it out for a corner kick away to the left-hand side, and it will be another Atleti corner here on this near side to put the pressure on Galatasaray. 27 minutes gone inside this game. Goes short though towards the corner of the area to bring Koke. Space to put the cross in. Looks towards the far side keeper. Jair comes to the punch. Only as far as the edge of the area. It's knocked down back in towards the middle by Almada and picked up nicely, but has to go back towards Llorente, who will start again from the edge of the centre circle. Goes towards Simeone on the right hand side. Manages to get the better of one. Continues towards the corner of the area. Lays it back off in towards the middle. Alvarez towards the left. So is Hanko. He's got the support of Ruggeri. Just managed to keep himself onside, and the cross that comes in dealt with easily by Torreira. Galatasaray want an offside flag to go over on the far side from the official that is over there, Mihai Marica, the Romanian, but not to be, as it's sent again towards the left-hand side towards Alvarez. His first touch is a good one, takes it straight in towards his feet, back towards the left corner of the area towards Ruggeri. Decides he's wanting to go down the left, but instead pulls it back onto his right to find Koke. Changing from the left-hand side to the right, looking then in towards the middle. Round the corner it goes from Almada, retrieves the ball back, an excellent slide tackle goes in there. The Atleti man semi-appealed for it, but Galatasaray will come away with the ball. It's with Osimhen inside his own half, chugging the touchline over on the far side as we look. Does really well to work it around Pubil, who will keep hold of his shirt, and the referee will pull it back for a free kick, and the centre half will go into the book. And now all of a sudden a little bit of frustration. Osimhen, we've seen it before in the game. He shows his frustration on the pitch. He's let it boil over a little bit too much. It's allowed a few more players to come in. The referee dishing out more yellow cards. So Pubil stopped the attack. He's got in the referee's book, but we'll have to figure out who's gone in as the second name into Istvan Kovac's book. There's no hesitation on the first, on the 22-year-old Pubil. At the back, and then a little bit of pushing and shoving between the players in frustration. Osimhen certainly let it show his frustration, even with his own teammates at the African Cup of Nations, as he takes the chest down on the edge of the centre circle. Can't put it nicely though into towards his feet and loses out. It's sent long towards Alvarez on this near left hand side. Doesn't sit nicely for him, but he gets a second touch to try and take it over the top of Sanchez's head, but good defensive work at the back, but given away in towards Koke. Flicks it in towards the box, but it's headed back out towards Sane halfway inside his own half. Squeezes it in towards the centre circle, looking for Gunn. Follows it through towards the left hand side to find Yilmaz. Space for him to run into. Llorente sitting back off, works it onto his right. Shot opens up, but it's blocked inside the box well by Hanko, who just about gets back, and now Atleti will attack down the right hand side. Barrios feeds it in towards Simeone, back in towards Barrios, space towards the left for Almada, found him on the corner of the area, takes it back onto his right, closed down by two, towards the edge of the area, shot goes in, man goes down, the referee surely must give the free kick to Atleti. He has, and he's allowed play to continue. Not sure there's anything to play for. I don't think he played advantage, but it's over towards Alvarez, just pushed it towards the right side, goes back across the 6-yard box, begging to be put in, but Sorloth can't get himself across the 6-yard box. It'll go out for a goal kick to the home side, but it was good work from Atleti. Patient, methodical play, working it from the edge of their own box. It was Alvarez who took it on to his right, sent it then across the 6-yard box, waiting for Sorloth just to tuck it home at the far post, but the big man can't quite get there as the score stays 1-1 here 31 minutes into this game. Atletico making their 16th appearance in the Champions League proper, and it's a 13th in succession as well. They featured every season since the 2013-14 campaign, and for Galatasaray it's their 19th participation in the Champions League proper, more than every other Turkish club combined, and only a second in 6 seasons. Their last campaign, the 23-24, ended at the group stage as Gala's previous 4 forays, as did Gala's previous 4 forays into the competition. They lost last time around in the qualifying playoffs, 4-2 against Young Boys on aggregate, going on to finish 14th in the league phase of the Europa League, and being then eliminated by AZ Alkmaar in the knockout phase playoff last season. 1-1 here though. They're hoping that they can at least get into the knockout phase of the Champions League. They're doing everything that they can this evening. As it stands, they'll go 3 points clear of the all-important 24th place, but they lost the ball in the far corner of their own half. Pulled back towards the edge of the area, but it's Koke who can't quite turn the afterburners on to get there in the head of the second ball, but Barrios is there to help with a supporting role and wins the ball back. There's 3 players towards the left-hand side for Atletico. It's found towards Almada, back in towards Alvarez, but good work in the middle from Baraki just to get himself across again, showing frustration at the back. He's doing a lot of work for Galatasaray, who were lucky to be back in this game. A stroke of fortune from the Llorente own goal. They haven't tested the keeper themselves really, and Atletico just tried to control the ball inside the Galatasaray half on the edge of the boxes with Barrios. Towards the right hand side is Alvarez, 10 yards off the edge of the area, just trying to creep himself closer. There's Simeone over to the right hand side. He has to go back towards Barrios, who will try and work it towards the right, brings Llorente and then Simeone in towards Almada on the edge of the box, trying to link it around the corner with Alvarez, but Alvarez's touch too heavy and in towards Ugucan Chaihia's goal, into his goalkeeping glove, should I say, towards the left hand side. You'd know if it's a goal, I'd be a little bit more enthusiastic than that. 11 minutes to play inside the first half. Defeat to Monaco back on match day 6 with Galatasaray's second successive 1-0 league loss phase. It didn't start very well for them in this campaign, in this game for the campaign, but it's got better as time has gone on, and Atletico have done it against teams that are having blinding seasons in their domestic leagues. They won 3-2 against PSV Eindhoven have won 17, drawn 1 of their 19 games in the Eredivisie, looking untouchable now with a 16-point lead at the top. And it was a good day for Atleti last time out to make it 10 wins in the last 13 Champions League matches, losing the previous other 3. 10 minutes to go in this game. It's 1-1 here, and it's a throw on the halfway line for the home side, who still have plenty of time to try and work it. They've come from behind to level it inside the first half. That's exactly what they would have hoped for after going down inside the opening 4 minutes of this game. If you are going to concede in a game of football, it is better to be earlier than later. Plenty of transfers being looked at for both sides as well. We'll mention a few for Galatasaray later. For Atletico Madrid, they lost Conor Gallagher, who moved back to England to play for Tottenham Hotspurs for €35 million. So he potentially still looks to try and get in towards inside the England team for the World Cup in the summer. It's Galatassaray down the left-hand channel with Salai, got the assist on the Galatasaray equaliser. Forced back though towards Sane. Into the middle of the park it goes towards Sanchez, the 29-year-old Colombian who spent 6 years at Tottenham, where Conor Gallagher has now moved. Moves it towards the left-hand side, back in towards Sanchez, puts the ball in towards the box, but it's comfortable at the back for Jan Oblak to come out and claim that one. The knee was high. Osimhen couldn't quite get there, unwilling to challenge the big Slovenian goalkeeper. Osimhen found the net in 8 consecutive European games. 12 goals in total before drawing a blank against Monaco. But he has an excellent goal-scoring record. If it wasn't for, as some managers said, his attitude on and off the pitch, he would certainly be playing in a top 5 European league. But he's on the right-hand side with Atletico Madrid to Simeone. Tries to loft it towards Soloff at the far side. Can't quite outstretch his left leg. Goes out for a goal kick. He was indecisive at the far post. Simeone fuming, a spitting image of his younger father. Tries to put a cross in towards the far side, towards Soloff, who looked like he just pulled back really on the ball. Gianluigi Simeone, who just floated it towards the far side, and he just couldn't work out sort of whether he should have gone for his head or for the boot, and by the time he did make his decision, it was too late and already out for a goal kick to the left-hand side. 8 minutes to play them inside the first half. Galatasaray 1, Atletico Madrid 1. Galatasaray looking to get their Champions League campaign back on track. Sane, 10 yards off the edge of the Atleti half, off the Atleti box, plays it towards the right corner of the area to find support. One of them is Salai, pulls the ball towards the area looking for Osimhen, but he just can't quite reach it with the head, outstretching Rose highest. It's back towards the left-hand side. Osimhen wants a return ball from the left, level with the edge of the penalty area over on that far side of the pitch. Back in towards El Mali, tries to put a ball in towards the box, but it's a poor one and dealt with by Koke, but it's out on the far side for a throw-in to the home side, level with the edge of the Atleti penalty area, but it was a wonderfully whipped ball from Salai, almost on a button for Osimhen to come across, just pushed away in the body by Pubil at the back, just to deny Osimhen an opportunity to get his head onto it. Back with the home side on the halfway line, trying to work it in towards the middle. They'll be the happier of the two sides after going down early on in this contest. They'll just try to play it the way that they want, but they are careless when they do get hold of the ball at times. They're giving it away in the middle to that pair of Koke Barrios a number of times. It's gone again the way of Barrios on this occasion, tries to get a ball in towards the box, comes back out towards Soloff on the corner of the area, can't quite turn his man, being pulled in the back as well by Sanchez, and Galatasaray will clear from inside their own box, but Soloff, who gets hold of the ball, he doesn't have that feel, the speed really of a world-class number 9, the Norwegian. He wins aerial duels, he comes in with late runs, but he turns like a park bus when he gets hold of it inside the box, and that just allows defenders to get back. If he can hold up the ball and lay it off That's great, but Galatasaray so far have had his number. Long throw from the far side, put in towards the area. It's headed down by Lemina and then cleared only as far as Barrios. Just floats on towards the edge of the area, but it's hooked clear towards the centre circle by the home side. Picked up by Barrios in the Atleti midfield. Finding support of Almada towards his right-hand side. Continues it towards Hanklo playing a higher line. Koke there on the support, 15 yards off the far corner of the area. Atleti decide there's no way through on the right-hand side and try the left instead with Ruggeri. He says, no, I'm not taking on Salai one-on-one, who's had an excellent run down that right-hand side for the home side in the opening 45 minutes here. Just playing it inside the box, inside the Galatasaray half is the runners-up from the 2014-2018 Champions League, both against Real Madrid. Diego Simeone's side lost to the neighbours on penalties in the last season's round of 16 as well. It was the 4-ton penalties, 1 at home, the 2-1 on aggregate as well. He had finished 5th in the league phase before that last time around for them. As a free kick goes Atletico's way halfway inside the Galatasaray half, so a good opportunity for the away side to put the ball in. It's a little bit too central, a bit too far out to shoot as well. There is going to be one in the wall just for the sake of it. Atletico split left and right, goes left instead looking for the head of Simeone, but it's dealt with by Sani. Knocks it down inside his own box, so just about given away, but Salai will win the free kick, and the booking will also go the way of the Atleti man who just came across Salai on this near left-hand side, and it's Almada who finds himself in the referee's book. In the other game in the Champions League, still 1-1 between Karabag and Eintracht Frankfurt. It was Osimhen, who've had confirmation, who went into the book early on alongside Pubil for the handbags that took place just after. There are games going on across the Champions League later on as well. Atalanta against Bilbao, Munich against Union Saint-Gilloise, the league leaders over in Belgium. Chelsea at home to Paphos. Juve against Benfica, Marseille at home to Liverpool, Newcastle against PSV, and Slavia Prague at home to Barcelona. All of those games can have an impact on both of these two sides, but they can make it their own destiny if they pick up the 3 points this evening. Galatasaray win, they're in to the next round of the group. Won't be mathematically secure until at least the remaining games finish later this evening, but there's absolutely no way that if they win they will be out based on the teams that are going to play against each other in the next round of fixtures. It's towards the left hand side with Chakir in the goal for Atleti. They're eyeing up the top 8. They want to avoid a playoff round and a potential difficult tie against one of those sides that has failed to make the last 8. We saw it last year with some big sides just about qualifying, Manchester City's being one of them, right at the end of the group stage qualification. There's one game left after this for both of these two sides. Galatasaray play against Man City. They're on the ball on the edge of the Atletico area, just trying to work in and find a shot. Is Terrera, the former Atleti man, but it's blocked by Koke on the edge of the box. It's not quite cleared though for the away side. Down the left hand side, brought back in looking for the run of Terrera, but good interceptive work from Barrios on the edge of his own box to clear his lines. Lemina will pick it up inside the Atleti half and pushed it towards the left hand side. Yilmaz with a cross looking for Osimhen, takes the chest down, tries to work it, tries to find the space. The keeper doesn't commit in. Oblak still inside the box, but good work in the end by Ruggeri just to stick a foot in ahead of Osimhen, who seems frustrated again with something. It was a wonderful ball from the left hand side from Yilmaz. The striker tried to chest it down. Hanko got his foot in there, managed to just control it, push it towards the right hand side, but Oblak did everything to not put him off. Now with Soloff on the other end, tries to go for goal, but his shot is blocked. It looked like it may have just tested Shaqiri a little bit more than it ended up doing as it came off Sanchez, who was just scrambling across the edge of his own box. Soloff looking for the far corner, and the deflection there and off the defender, the Colombian defender, just bouncing up and kind and into Chakir's hands towards the left-hand side. And it's again with Galatasaray down the right side. Pulled back across, opportunity. Oh, and Yilmaz has put it over the bar. A gilt-edged chance from 12 yards out. The Turkish fans here in Istanbul cannot believe it. It was great work, slowed down by Sane. Drew 3 players out, played it towards the right, in towards Almada. He's sensed an opportunity to run it towards the byline, open up the angle. Pulled it back in between the penalty spot, 6-yard box, towards Yilmaz on the left, and he skied it over the top of the bar. And if this ground was a couple of metres smaller, it may have found its way outside the ground, but it was a poor attempt. Just a swing, really, at the ball from Yilmaz, and that should have tested Oblak in the goal. 1 minute of added time has been put on by the fourth official here, Slabojkovic, the Romanian fourth official. Is there an opportunity for Atletico to end the half in style with Barrios 10 yards off the right corner of the Galatasaray area, in towards Alvarez, sends it across, pulled back towards Almada, but defensively solid from Galatasaray. Still not over yet though, as Atleti come again. Barrios lets it run in towards Koke, continues it forward and pushes it now towards the left. It's a good ball in towards Ruggeri, chance for a cross, wings it in towards the far side, can't be knocked down by Lorente, comes back out towards Barrios, but his strike blocked back out again towards Ruggeri, back towards Lorente, but just overruns it, and it is cleared by Galatasaray, and that signals the end of the first half here in Rams Park. It's Galatasaray 1, Atletico Madrid 1. An entertaining first half that almost had it all. It was a good start from the away side, with Alvarez trying to test the goalkeeper before hitting the side netting after just 2 minutes. But after 4 minutes, they did have the lead. It was good work down the left-hand side towards Ruggeri, whose cross was on a button, in towards Simeone, whose header into the middle of the goal beat Chakir. All ends up pretty even then in the game after that, and then Galatasaray found themselves lucky and back on level terms. Sane opened up the space down the right for Salai to make the run. His cut back though into the 6-yard box, put in to an open net by Marcos Llorente, putting into his own goal, into a very grateful Galatasaray crowd who are starting to become a little bit tetchy in the stands. That relaxed them a little bit. Atletico Madrid tried to keep coming at the end of the half. A few opportunities and block shots for both sides really, but a fairly even contest here is even on the scoreboard as well. At half time it's Galatasaray 1, Atletico Madrid 1.
Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page.
The Rams Park in Istanbul as the home side make their way out of the tunnel down in front of us. We just await for Atletico Madrid. The referees have made their way out as well, and Atleti now in their all dark blue strip come out of the tunnel. I'll let you know of any potential changes that do get made between both of these two sides at half time. It does look like one change is going to be made from an Atleti perspective, and it looks like it's Alex Bena who is going to make his way on for Atletico Madrid. So I'll find out exactly who he has come on for the away side. But once that is confirmed, I'll run you through both sets of teams as we're moments away here in Galatasary. Atletico Madrid in their blue shirt, blue shorts, blue socks, going from left to right against Galatasary in their yellow and red striped home shirt, ready maroon shorts and ready maroon socks. And it was Almada who was replaced by Alex Bena for Atletico Madrid. Almada was booked inside the first half. Hadn't had too much of that left-hand side, so the 24-year-old Argentinians were back underway here at 9:48 local time. Just in his fourth Champions League appearance was the first manager played that was the first man out player that was called up to Argentina for the World Cup squad that played at the time for the club. But apart from that, he makes his way off for that game. Not sure where we're going with that one. Alex Bena, the 24-year-old, though, is on the pitch. He's on the ball, feeds it in towards Alvarez. Just trying to spread it open towards the left-hand side. Tries to then feed it through round the back line, but good defensive work from the home side to deny the away side a good start to the second half as he had inside the first half. But it's with the home side down the right-hand side towards Osimhen, but it's just behind him and out for a throw-in to the away team. It's been in there, 24-year-old Spaniard. Got a wonderful celebration. He's not used it yet in the Champions League. It's just his fifth Champions League appearance as Galatasaray start with Chahia in goal. Salai, Sanchez, Barkachi and El Mali, the back four. Former Atleti man Torreira and Lamina are the two sitting just in front as Osimhen just tries to close down Oblak towards the left-hand side, but the keeper does really well to get it out again to his defensive unit over on that far side, and they just about come away with the ball to Atleti. In front of those two is Sane, Akgun and Yilmaz, with Osimhen on a booking up front, all on his own. For the away side, trying to get the ball forward down the right-hand side with Llorente. Is Oblak in goal, Llorente, Pubil, Hanko and Ruggeri, the four at the back. Four in midfield, Simeone, the goal scorer, Koke Barrios, and then Bena. And then up front as Alvarez takes fire from the edge of the box, but it's blocked, and away it goes for Galatasaray. Is Sorloth and Alvarez both up front together for the away team, but it's Galatasaray trying to come forward with the ball, with Akgun tries to feed it in towards the middle towards Osimhen, but he decided to move himself towards the right-hand side as it goes. Atletico's way in through in towards their own goalkeeper. Opened up on the right-hand side with Llorente, who was the unfortunate man to put the ball into the back of his own net inside that first half, and having a semi-good game on the right. Apart from that, it's down the right-hand side again though with Barrios, who just manages to come away from two. Lamina had his shirt as well, but escapes and pulls it in towards the middle, but it's poor from him and gives it in towards Torreira and takes him out for good measure as well, and he'll be lucky not to come away with a booking, and he isn't quite so lucky is Barrios, as he is the third Atleti man to go into the bookies. It was his pass in the middle that Torreira read like a book and picked it off, and in doing so he left his frustration in on the Galatasaray midfielder, who wins the free kick. So still 1-1, 3.5 minutes gone inside this second half, and there's nothing to separate either of these two sides. But it's Atletico Madrid in the first half. They look the better. They've travelled that 3,500 kilometres east to the Euro-Asia capital of Galatasaray here in Istanbul. But it's nothing to separate either of these two sides. Galatasaray, their best in the Champions League was back in the 2012-2013 season, when they came up in the quarter-finals. If they win today, they're only 2 more games off that same outcome, as they will qualify for that playoff phase. Osimhen with the flick on header, but it's picked up at the back kindly by Hanko. He gives it away though, back to Osimhen in the middle, sent towards the left hand side towards Yilmaz. Got Llorente for pressure, feeds it round the corner for Osimhen, who continues it down the left hand side in towards El Mali, tries to get himself in towards the box. Player goes down, the referee the decision to make, gives a goal kick. Questions being asked by El Mali. Evren El Mali, the 25-year-old Turkish player, he has gone away from the referee, so he may have accepted that he went down really under his own steam more than anything. But it was a good tackle on the near side, and then El Mali went down over the top of his own momentum, and in doing so he has come off a little bit worse for wear. The VAR check, which was there for a moment with Rob De Pinnick, the Dutch 37-year-old in the VAR room for the 31st time in his career. Only Atleti game was the 6-0 win in the group stage back in 2024 against Sparta Prague. He didn't have to get involved in that game. Not got involved yet in this one either. An excellent turn in the middle by Barrios as we're back underway, and moves it in towards the centre circle, trying to find the run of the substitute Bain. Pushed it towards the left-hand side, back in towards Barrios in the midfield, who's having an excellent time there. It's where Atleti controlling the ball with Koke and Barrios, 2 excellent experienced players in the midfield. Pablo Barrios, his 21st Champions League game, despite him being 22 years old. He's a very trusted young starter in the midfield. But here comes Galatasaray, flicked in towards the edge of the area towards Sane. He goes down under no contact whatsoever. Osimhen with the ball that was over the top, looking for Sane. His first touch a little bit too heavy, his second gave it away, but it's good work on the right hand side from Akgun to win it back, plays it in towards Sane, getting towards the byline, goes down inside the area. It's another goal kick that's been given. The referee is going to come across for this one. He is just there asking Sane to be careful. He took on he took on Hanko down the left hand side, and as he got past him, his first touch, he had a slight push, it wasn't even a push, he had a hand on his back and tried to make the most of it, did the German international. But the referee not being baited by it, and Atleti come away with the ball. It's chested down on the side, but the linesman's flag is up, and the linesman on this side, this second half, is Franec Tunyogi. On the other side is Mihai Marika, referee Istvan Kovac, fourth official Sloboc Kovac, all 4 from Romania, and on the VAR is Rob De Pinnick, as there are changes and reinforcements being made for Atleti. They blinked at half-time, and it looks like they will blink again in this game. 8 minutes gone inside the second half, still 1-1 between these two sides. Nothing to separate them inside this packed Rams Park in Istanbul. Turkish league leaders ahead of unbeaten Fenerbahce by a solitary point are Galatasaray. 5 wins in their last 7. They did lose to Fenerbahce in the cup. They drew their other game, their last game, in fact, against Gaziantep. They beat Fethiyaspor 2-1 in the cup, in the other Turkish cup, before losing to Fenerbahce 2-0 in the Super Cup for Turkey. It's on the left-hand side again for Atleti, trying to work it towards the left-hand side again. He played it back in towards Simeone's ball across the box, waiting to be tucked away once again, and his hands are outstretched as his frustration with Sorloth at the far post in this game is starting to mount for the young Argentinian. The 23-year-old again on the right-hand side, just chucking it between defence and keeper, hoping it's just going to get stabbed home at the far post. And it was Alexander Sorloth, the man who should have been there. He's a yard or two off the pace, and he's just not able to keep up with the fast-flowing passing that is the Atletico team. They themselves sit 4th in La Liga, 8 points off Barcelona at the top. Just 1 loss in 8, and that was against Real Madrid in the Super Cup. They've won 6, drawn 1 of the other 7. But their away form is certainly left to be desired for Atleti. It's a free kick over on the far side for Galatasaray over on the halfway line, which Sane will take. Goes back in towards his own half. There were plenty of games going on tonight as well. There's Karabag against Frankfurt playing right now. They're 1-1. There was plenty of games last night. I'll run you through their scores, but Galatasaray on the ball. Down the left-hand side, good intercepted in the pocket, almost stolen nicely by El Mali on Simeone, who had his back against the Gala player, who just stuck a leg in, the 25-year-old Turkish, in his 7th Champions League appearance. And now the changes will be made, and it will be the experienced Koke in his 109th appearance, making his way off alongside his midfield partner Barrios, and on for them will be Robin Normand, and it will also be Johnny Cardozo, the man who dropped to the bench for this game in place of Koke, comes back in for him inside the second half. The 24-year-old American who has played in Brazil. He plays for the American national team, even though both his parents are Brazilian. Joined back in June, did Cardoso, and he'll be playing likely, very, very likely, in the World Cup in America next summer, which will certainly be an interesting affair, to say the least. It's already an interesting time in the world right now, but we'll stick to the thing that we get plenty of enjoyment from, which is certainly Champions League football. Lenormand, the man that has come on. If he is booked though in this game, he will miss the final group game. It's with Simeone. Plays it down the right hand side towards Llorente, 15 yards off the right corner of the area. Cuts back in towards the middle to find Alvarez. Can't quite work it past Torreira, but does manage to find a pass in towards the far corner. Play back towards Sorloth, and there's the chance, but it's over the top of the bar once again. He's finally connected with a cross. It was from the right hand side. It was worked nicely by Cardozo. His first involvement in the game is to link up with Alvarez, and then he just opened it up, pulled it back half a yard, and then just curled a beautiful ball towards the far side of the box. And incoming was Alexander Sorloth, who put his foot through the volley, but that went over the top of the bar. 3 points in rugby for nothing in a game of football. It remains 1-1 here as it's picked up on the right hand side by Simeone. A chance for Atletico to get in towards the box, trying to take him on down the right hand side, sticks inside the middle, tries to then find the pass, unselfishly looking for Sorloth once again. Galatasaray defensively do the work. Sanchez gets it back. It's out for a corner kick on this near side to Galatasaray, but at that moment you're just waiting for Simeone to pull the trigger. Instead he's looking for the pass in towards the striker, but good defensive work at the back from Sanchez. He read it once again, but it's out for a corner kick. Alvarez comes across to take this one from the near side. There's 3 inside the 6-yard box for Atleti. There's 2 on the penalty spot and 1 on the edge of the box. All very central, played in towards the near post, but it comes back off. Osimhen out for another corner kick, not the best of corner kicks. 13 minutes gone inside the second half, and Alvarez will have an opportunity to put a better ball in. It was easy at the front post from Osimhen, but just bounced awkwardly in front of him, so he just knocks it out for a corner kick. Alvarez stands over this one once again. A bit more dispersed players inside the box for the away side. It's whipped in, it's a better ball, played out towards the edge of the area and knocked down towards the left hand side. Cross comes back across. Osimhen was there, headed back by Simeone across towards the far side and off the line. And Galatasaray just about clear it towards the edge of the area. Alvarez puts it back in towards the box. The Federer header, and it's over the top of the bar for Atletico. And it was Cardoso with the final touch with the header, but it was good work on the second corner. Played out towards the edge of the box, only as far as the substitute Cardoso swung it back in towards the box. Header from Simeone came all the way across towards the far side, and Bainer was there and just couldn't connect to it on the corner of the 6-yard box. It just scuttled towards the far bottom corner. Easy for Galatasaray and El Mali to clear off his own line, but it's a chance that should put more pressure on the Galatasaray goal line. They'll creep up 15-20 yards from a throw-in on the near side under some protestation from Simeone, and then they'll win a free kick on the halfway line as Osimhen goes down under the challenge at the back by Lenormand. Another change being made. Sorloth is the man to come off. He's had a really difficult evening, has the Norwegian striker, and on comes the experienced Antoine Griezmann for Atletico Madrid. The 34-year-old Frenchman is 114th Champions League appearance. He's Atleti's all-time top goal scorer with 207 goals, and he makes his way on to try and provide the difference. They'll win a free kick inside their own half, as well as Salai just leaves a bit of an elbow in on Bainer. He didn't intend to connect with the Atletico wide man, but in doing so, he just, as he was looking for the header, just raised both his elbows, and one caught the Atleti number 10. And they'll win a free kick, and he will go into the referee's book this afternoon. The only 2 players that can miss the next game for Galatasaray is Davison Sanchez and Ismail Jacobs, who's on the bench for Galatasaray. Both managers could actually miss the next game if they're booked from the bench. They both received bookings during this group stage. Other games that then took place last night: Copenhagen and Napoli shared a 1-1. Arsenal beat Inter Milan to keep their 7-for-7 at the top, 3-1 on the road. By Leverkusen lost away to Olympiacos as Atleti tried to come with the ball down the right, but just give it away. Real Madrid back to winning ways against AS Monaco 6-1, after we saw those videos of Vinny Jr. crying after hearing his name being booed. But I don't have too many sympathies for a player who actively gets a very good manager sacked to then cry tears on a stairs because people weren't happy that he did such a thing. Sporting beat PSG 2-1. Tottenham beat Borussia Dortmund 2-0. Ajax won on the road, just their second win of the Champions League phase, just to keep their hopes alive against Villarreal 2-1. Man City lost away to Bodo Glimt, their first ever Champions League win, and Club Brugge won 4-1 against Kairat Almaty. And Kairat Almaty were 4-0 down when they scored, still celebrated with a tops-off celebration. But here in Istanbul, 63 minutes into this game, is Galatasaray 1, Atletico Madrid 1. It is anyone's guess which way this game is going to go. It's even on the scoreboard, it's even in the possession, it's even in the attempts, and it's just waiting for a piece of magic to open the deadlock once again in this second half. Atleti have made their changes that they hope can make a difference in this game. 4 changes for them since half-time. Galatasaray happy that they don't need to make any changes just yet. They'll go up against Karagümrük, then Man City, and then Kayserispor in the league is their next 3 games. So Atletico Madrid, they've got Mallorca at home before going to Bodo Glimt, travelling to the Spanish capital, and then they'll go away to Levante in La Liga. One of those games going on tonight, Liverpool against Marseille. Van Dijk will be playing his 350th Liverpool appearance for the club, as Galatasary trying to make the run down the left hand side, but defensively good work at the back by Normand, who just scampers across and puts it out for a throw-in level with the edge of the Atleti penalty area. Can Galatasaray find something? There's only one inside the box, so with Osimhen, Özil Mali has a throw-in on the near side. He's got 2 looking for support. He decides to step back and maybe decide to go for the long throw, but hasn't quite made his mind up yet, taking his time to allow the players for Galatasaray to rearrange themselves, and eventually does try to get into the box looking for Barkadic, gets the flick on, but Lemormand's just got to put it out for a corner kick on this near side. So the patient play from Galatasaray wins them a corner kick, and they'll make their first change of the afternoon, as well as that Gun, who's been sitting behind Osimhen, makes his way off for Gabriel Sara, the number 8 for Galatasaray, and he will make his way on and back in to the starting line, into the lineup for the Lions. It's taken short, and Sara gets his first touch of the ball. He's tried to whip it in towards the box, but it's headed out towards the edge of the area, knocked down towards the left-hand side, and Galatasaray have to go all the way back to the keeper inside their own half, and it's a poor ball back towards Shakir, and it will just slow down any momentum. And I'm always baffled by those corners where they're not just putting the ball in to the box, it's then passed around and then just sent back towards the goalkeeper. It's with Sara trying to get himself across the pitch early doors. The instructions for him seem to be just get hold of the ball and just create a little bit behind the Atleti back line. It's pushed towards the left hand side for the home side, trying to control the game as we enter the final period of this contest. Still 1-1 with 25 minutes to play. Move towards the left-hand side towards Yilmaz. Been really quiet. Can he open himself up? Drives down the left-hand side as the better is Simeone, who just pushes him over. There'll be a free kick which Yilmaz will win, and Simeone will go into the referee's book. A cynical challenge. He was beaten all ends up from an excellent run by Yilmaz. Just took it onto his right in them pink boots, drove it down the left, and Simeone got beaten to it. He couldn't get him down with the head initially, then he tried his shoulder, and in the end just gave him a good hard shove to make sure the wide man went down and couldn't put a ball in towards the box. But there will be a free kick which Gabriel Sara, the man who's just come on, is trying to keep himself busy as he's going to put the ball in towards the box from this near side. 6 yards off the byline away to our left hand side. There's one in the wall which is Salai. Sorry, there's one that's in the wall which is Griezmann for Atleti. There is a player down inside the box for Atleti as well. It was Alvarez just on the far side as he was just challenged late on by Marchetti, and instead he's going to switch players now and go alongside Simeone instead. Sara gets the nod from the referee to take the free kick, plays it in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed back out towards the edge of the box. Chance for a strike from the edge of the area for Sane, trying to wriggle free, just delicately send it towards the right hand side, put back in towards the area, but cleared out by the first man, which was Baina on the near side. Alvarez trying to wriggle through, but Sane wins it back under support from Yilmaz over on the far right hand side. Ball back in towards the middle towards Sanchez, round the corner in towards Lamina. Quick play from Galatasaray, trying to get it towards the wide man, in towards Sane. Can't quite find the pass, looking in the middle for Torreira, and Atleti will just come away with it halfway inside their own half, but it's quickly crowded out nicely. Cardozo loses the ball, and Galatasaray playing really high up the field now, applying the pressure, cross in towards the box, looking for Osimhen, just about dealt with at the back. It'll be another corner kick. It's Pubil who got the last touch on it, and it's a vital touch for the centre half to get it past Oshiem, who was lurking behind him, waiting for it, just to chest it down. A touch and bang it was going to be. But the 22-year-old Spaniard at the back, in just his fourth Champions League game, does enough. Sara stands over this one again, left-footed, sent in towards the penalty spot, towards Oshiem, gets the header first, but it's too high. Climbed on top of the Atleti player, and he's given away the free kick, as well as the ball comfortable into Oblak's grateful hands. It was Hanko who he fouled on the way through. Galatasaray, who we've seen before do the quadruple back in the 99-2000 season, where they won the league, the cup, the Europa League and the UEFA Super Cup. They've had 2 trebles to their name, including last season's, but the one thing they haven't beaten, and since 2001, is a Spanish side, and that was 22 games ago, where they beat Real Madrid by 3-2 in 2001, just after the millennium. Mentioning they're looking to get their campaign back on track. As it stands, they are in a pretty good position, are Galatasaray, inside the group stage. There's plenty of games still to go, but they want to put the fate in their own hands. Atleti Madrid will moving into the top 8, but here's Yilmaz on the left corner of the area, tries to send it towards the edge of the box, pulled back across towards Sane, and it's just cleared out. Good defensive work again from Madrid, sent towards the right hand side for the home side, but having to retreat towards the halfway line. Madrid sit 8th in the table, 4 wins, 1 draw, 2 defeats, with that +3 goal difference in the top 8 on goal difference. But Atalanta, Liverpool have games in hand below them, as do the likes of Newcastle and Chelsea, who all have, and Barcelona, who all have better goal differences than them, and can all go into the top 8. So Atleti will need a win, really, if they want to challenge going into the last group game. In Galatasaray, as it stands 16th in the table, 2 points ahead of Copenhagen in 25th place. They're on 8 points there. That would likely be enough, even with some of the games that are going on this evening. Teams that can close the gap to 24th spot are at least 2 points behind Benfica and Paphos. Union Saint-Gilloise, well, Paphos have Chelsea, and Union Saint-Gilloise as well have a difficult game against Bayern Munich. So it's very, very difficult to say who would challenge Galatasaray if they're able to not only get this point, but if they get all 3, they're certainly in the next round. But as it stands, fate is in both of these two sides' hands, with teams going to play later on this evening, and they'll be watching with eagle eyes. 19 minutes to play though, and eyes are on this game in the early kickoff. And the other one, Karabag and Frankfurt, is 1-1, but this is where it can have a real impact inside the playoff picture. Still 1-1 with 18 minutes to play. Atletico and Galatasaray evens throughout the opening 72 minutes of this contest. They've almost had the same amount of passes, only about 80 different in Atleti's favour. Possession almost identical, the amount they've run almost identical, shots almost identical. It's one of those games that can't be separated by the stats, but it will need to be hopefully separated on the scoreboard. If it can't be a point, it's still good enough for both two sides. Better for Galatasaray than for Atletico Madrid. But it's Atletico who are just trying to control the ball now and control the end of this game. 1 goal could win it late on, but a Galatasaray man's gone down inside his own half towards our right hand side with Salai, and the ball's been kicked out over on the far side, and we will need the physio to come on for the 28-year-old Hungarian, who played regularly down the wing, the number 7. He's played it right back though recently, just to offer some cover for the Galatasaray managers. Atleti will make their 5th and final change, with Julian Alvarez coming off for Gonzalez. So Alvarez, who has had 10 in his last 11 Champions League games. He's nicknamed the Spider for being absolutely everywhere. 19 goals and 32 as well for the national team. He makes his way off for Gonzalez up front, who will try and add something alongside Griezmann to potentially find a winner for the Rojiblancos of Atleti, trying to secure their top 8 finish. Alvarez, who is subject, it is just a rumour, to a Chelsea rumour. How well that will go. We know what Chelsea are like buying the majority of Europe. They're looking at the Rennes defender, the 20-year-old Rennes defender, Jacques, at the minute. That's a potential move that they may go for. We've seen debacles in the Premier League all throughout this season of players leaving, players sticking out to their contracts. As we're back underway here with 16 minutes gone, as Salah gets back onto his feet and he gets the interceptive header over on the right hand side, as that's where Atleti were trying to put the pressure on, but in doing so he's taken out the Atleti man. Well, he's been taken out, by Nico, the Atleti man, Gonzalez, and he's back on the deck once again over on the far side. It was Torreira who came across and just took a knee from Gonzalez into the side, and he'll require a little bit of treatment. So as we know the format then, with 15 minutes to play here, it impacts both of these two sides. The top 8 go through. 9 to 24th will be in the playoff round to get into the last 16 to play what will then be that seeded top 8, who will want to avoid a potential hiccup of an extra fixture. Galatasaray could still make the top 8 if results really go their way, but it's very, very unlikely considering the format. Atletico Madrid, they need to win if they want to apply pressure to that top 8. To draw may not be enough, with some teams playing this evening and having games that they should be winning. The likes of Chelsea against Barcelona as well, expected to go above Atleti as it stands, but plenty of time in this game still to go. 14 minutes in what was a very exciting first half. The second half has just dropped off quite significantly in terms of the quality, but it still doesn't mean that it's not poised on a knife edge between these two sides, both showing signs of nervousness and trying to control it in their favour. It's with Atleti down the right hand side, with Baina trying to skip past one, puts it in towards the area, but it's cleared out on the penalty spot comfortably from a Galatasaray perspective, towards the halfway line with Cardoso. In towards the middle, looking for Ruggeri. Shifts it towards the left-hand side where he enjoys the frequency more often than not. Cross comes Salai to push him back towards the halfway line in the centre circle. Atleti will move it towards the right-hand side. It's now with Pubil. Gives it in towards Simeone. Gives it away, though, towards Yilmaz, who does really well alongside El Mali, but the two of them are crowded off it by 3, and Simeone wings it back along with Benai. Down the right-hand side it comes again. Slow methodical play, but an excellent ball down the right-hand channel for Benai. Opportunity to put the ball in towards the box, towards the 6-yard box, and headed back out looking for the run of Griezmann. Coming in to the penalty area, but it's Sanchez who meets it really well once again. Still 1-1 with 13 minutes to play here in the Champions League. There's plenty of players for Galatasaray to bring on as well in this game. Atleti have brought all 5 of their changes on. With Galatasaray, they've got the 2 substitute keepers in Sen and Kuvenc, Jacobs, Icardi, Gundogan, Kutushku, Ayan Demir, Karaman, Karasu and Kosac. All on the bench. Still opportunities to bring on for Galatasaray to try and win this game for Okan Buruk's side. The manager is a former player and then manager since 2022. He's won 131 of 180 games in charge of Galatasaray. In the other dugout, Simeone, 456 wins in 769 games as manager of Atletico Madrid. You'd surely think he's going to hit 1,000 for his club, this old Arsene Wenger. legend of the club, as it's down the left-hand side for Atleti, trying to do something here with. They're going to win a corner kick off the Galatasaray man. And Atleti with 12 minutes to go, applying the pressure towards the right-hand side, and it's Alex Bain, the 24-year-old Spaniard, who's going to come across to take it. It was Gonzalez who got down the left-hand side, tried to get the cross. The defence again strong from Galatasaray, but couldn't stop it from going out for a corner kick. The 6 on the edge of the 6-yard box. That's where it's put in the first instance. It's headed out nicely by Oshiem towards the far left corner of the Galatasaray area. Ruggeri with the header down, just managed to find the return ball in towards Bainer. A crack towards the left-hand side again, back in towards the area, and the keeper just about gets there. Chahir ahead of the on-rushing Cardozo for Atleti. It was down the left-hand side. It was softly tucked back in towards the penalty area along the byline, and there was Chahir just to get down low before Cardozo could just get a flick on and try and divert it goalwards from 2 or 3 yards out. Game that's going to have one instant which will change as a free kick goes. Atletico Madrid just inside their own half as Yilmaz just raised his arms at Llorente at the back, and that will be his last partaking of the game as the free kick did go Atleti's way, and Yilmaz will come off for Ismail Jacobs, who is on the referee's warning list. Could miss the next game if he is booked. The Galatasaray number 4, who comes in as a second substitute for Okan Buruk. Back with Oblak, sends it towards the right hand side. It's just about escaped Oshiem to find the man on the near side, and it's a good challenge as well, high up the pitch from El Mali to force it out for a throw-in to the away side, halfway inside their own half. They'll get it towards the edge of the halfway line, but the free kick ends up going Atleti's way against Badaki at the back. Just came across his man, and in doing so the referee wasn't happy with the challenge that came through. It's sent down the right hand side for Atleti, but dealt with by Sanchez, still in play. The Atleti man goes down under a little bit of pressure on the near side from Jacobs, loses it though towards Llorente, back across in towards the middle towards Gonzalez, follows it through in towards Griezmann, overlap back in towards the area, in towards Cardozo, the header back out towards the near side, and Galatasaray clear the lines only as far as Simeone picks up the ball in towards Cardozo, down the right hand side for Llorente. Scored that own goal in the first half. Can he find something now with 9 minutes to play? Back in towards the right hand side, cross in towards the area. It's a really, really poor one from Pupil, and cleared back down the right hand channel. Pupil picks up that loose ball, finds Llorente with it, 10 yards off the right corner of the area. Opportunity to try and do something here. Simeone across and in towards Gonzalez, just lets it run across his body, skips past one, continues his run towards the corner of the area, keeps hold of the ball, still in towards the area, headed back out towards the right hand side by Barkadic, and Ruggeri will come again in once again towards the middle. The overhead kick was almost attempted inside the box from Griezmann. The shot comes in, and it's over the top of the bar from the right hand side from Pupil. He had a tester moments before from the edge of the box, then he had a side step a little bit further out, and it's over the top of the bar, and it's not going to trouble Chahir from there as Barkadic is down now inside his own area with 8 minutes to go, and you could say he's doing Atleti are just getting themselves on top of the game with time running out. Will either of these two sides be at the final at the Puskás Arena in Budapest on May 30th? Atletico Madrid, 2 runners-up medals to their name, would love to be in a final, but Eintracht Frankfurt, who love to score and concede, have scored and conceded in quick succession. It's 2-2 in the game over in Kazakhstan at Karabakh. 2-2 is the scoreline there. It's almost given away on the edge of the penalty area. It has been, and it's a free kick to Atleti. It's poor from Galatasaray. Lemina goes into the referee's book from the restart inside their own box. Simeone stole it ahead of Lemina, and then Lemina all over the back of him, right on the edge of the Galatasaray box in a superb spot for a shot. A yard or two outside, 2 yards to the right-hand side of the D. A real opportunity for Atletico Madrid to potentially win this game late on. There's 6.5 minutes to play. It's been a cloudy, fairly tepid evening in the weather. The first half was heating us up. The second half has cooled us down. Can we be in for some fireworks late on in this game? Still 1-1. There's two standing over it. One of them is Griezmann. There's 4 in the wall stood up. There's 1 in Sara laying down behind the wall as well for the home side. The goalkeeper, Jahir, asking Sara just to move up as the wall. He's not happy with how the wall has been placed. There's 3 Atleti players forming their own wall in front of the 4-man Galatasaray wall. But it's Griezmann who's eyeing this up. Left-footed. The referee's happy. Griezmann stands over it, over the wall, and it's pushed away to the left-hand side from the keeper. It had the accuracy. It didn't quite have the power to beat Shahir. He managed to push it away out for a corner kick. It was Griezmann that took it, left-footed, ahead of Bainer. Got it over the top of the wall. But it always looked comfortable for Jahir, getting towards his left-hand side. Griezmann with the corner, sends it in towards the area. Oshiem with the initial header out, cleared back towards the right-hand side. It's with Bainer, flicked around the corner in towards Griezmann, sent it back in towards Bainer. Chance opens up, fires a shot straight at goal and put behind his own net by El Mali. And it's another corner kick to Atleti, who are starting to really show themselves at the end of this game, and it came towards Bainer, who just took aim at goal. The keeper just palms it away right in front of him, and El Mali has to put it over the top of his own bar, but the tempo is now in Atleti's favour. Corner from the right-hand side, swung in, cleared out again towards the edge of the box, only as far as Simeone lofts it in towards the area. There is a man that was just coming back from an offside position, which allows Galatasaray just to hook it clear, but only as far as a throw-in halfway inside their own half. And they're probing now Atleti at the end of this game. Galatasaray have another man down on the edge of their own box, and it's Torreira who is feeling the pressure from Simeone on the pitch, trying to pick him back up and get him back to his feet. I'm sure Torreira, the former Atleti man, can sense Atleti getting on top of this game right at the end, and a wry smile from Griezmann, who's played with Torreira. Just as the referee comes over, but at the minute it's all hands to the pump defensively for Galatasaray. Can either side find the breakthrough late on? We've got minutes to go in this contest. It's Atleti who are testing the Galatasaray keeper to our right-hand side as this game draws into its final embers. But can either of these sides find a winner late on? We're still waiting for Torreira to get back to his feet. It's been a wonderful game. The second half has been played in different spirits to the first. The first was a frantic end-to-end affair with both sides going for it. The second, between the Lions and the Rojiblancos, has been a little bit more reserved. It's been two sides wary of losing the game more than anything. A point still makes a difference for both of these two sides. A loss for either of these two sides could be disastrous for their respective Champions League campaigns and what they are aiming for. Torreira is making his way off now after receiving a bit of treatment, and he'll also be substituted for Ike Gundogan, the legend that played for Man City in the Premier League, won plenty of Premier Leagues, won the Champions League with Man City before his move to Barcelona, and then returned back to Man City, the 35-year-old German, and now with Galatasaray in his 112th Champions League appearance. 13 goals he scored in those 112 that he's now made. The captain of the treble-winning Manchester City side. But it's back underway. We've got 2 minutes to play, plus what will be substantial time added on at the end of this game. It's with Atletico Madrid on the halfway line, almost given away towards Osimhen. It's played forward though, and Barkadic, the captain for Galatasaray, just puts his foot through it, but only as far as the halfway line. 2 goals inside the opening 20 minutes is what we find ourselves at, coming up to the 90th minute. 1-1 between the two sides. The free kick goes Galatasaray's way, halfway inside their own half, just hugging the far touchline as a foul by Hanko on Jacobs over on that far side. Atletico Madrid, that 3,500 kilometres, they'll be travelling west home from the edge of Europe back to the heart of Spain. They'll be hoping to take more than just a point. It will be more of a disappointing point for the Spanish side than it will be for the Turkish side, who know that a point will pretty much seal their fate in the next round. For Atletico Madrid, they could be joining Galatasaray as it stands in the playoff round, despite being in the top 8 as it stands. They likely won't unless results, and plenty of them, go their way this evening. A total of 5 sides can go above them in the late kickoffs at between 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock, depending where you are in Europe. If it is here, it's 10:30. Here, those games kicking off at 8 o'clock local time. But Atletico Madrid, as this game's gone on, have had plenty more attempts in the end than Galatasaray. It was very even 20 minutes ago, but Atletico Madrid just trying to get themselves forward, but nothing really to test the goalkeeper in the goal, apart from a pop shot or two from the edge of the box. But now Osimhen flips it in towards Sarr on the edge of the box, takes a strike, and it's just wide of the left-hand post. But that is what can happen at one end. It can just open up for either side, as Osimhen just found himself on the ball, just flicked it through in towards Sarr, and his shot wide of the left-hand post. 5 minutes have been added on. I thought there would have been more than that in this second half. We had about 3 minutes stoppage just moments ago for Torreira getting back to his feet. Nothing to separate either of these two sides. Llorente, who scored 3 for Atletico Madrid in the competition, has found himself scoring in the wrong goal for Galatasaray, whose only goal scorers so far in this competition, with in their 8 goals, 6 of them have come from Osimhen, 2 of them came from Yusuf Akgun, and now the 9th goal from Llorente own goal. Sent down the right-hand side towards Osimhen, tries to pull it back across in towards the box, but it's just too close towards Oblak, who gets across his 6-yard box ahead of Al Mali, playing high up the field, but it's given away, and it's out for a throw in halfway inside the Atleti half, and Simeone getting frustrated on the touchline. Diego Simeone, the pressure that they've just had up one end means absolutely nothing, because they've added nothing to the scoreboard, and now Galatasaray are trying to apply some pressure towards the left-hand side. Galatasaray won their opening 3 Champions League games. They lost the last 2 and sit on 3 wins, 3 defeats. So he won the first 3, lost the last 3 as well, sitting 2 points above 25th as it stands. Big difference that makes, trying to get themselves into the next round. Given away though in the middle by Lemina. Cardozo finds a bit of space with the left-hand side with Gonzalez. His pass down the channel's given away though, with 3 minutes to play of the 5 added on. Is over on the right with Sarr, can't quite cut it back in towards Osimhen, but he is going to win a corner kick. Come off Gonzalez on the left, Ruggieri on the left-hand side, just doing enough is Sarr. He's been lively since he's come on. He's been at the heart of all the set piece, and the ball's going in towards the box. But he's won a corner kick here as reinforcements come from the back for Galatasaray. We're halfway inside the 5 minutes added on at the end of this game. Sarr with the corner kick from the far side, held up though by the referee and the linesman as a man's gone down inside the box, with it being Lemina, who's now protesting with the referee, and he needs to be a little bit careful does Lemina. He's also already been booked in this game. He doesn't want to find himself going again. He is remonstrating with the referee that he was clipped in the face, but the referee, Istvan Kovac, who's had little to nothing to do in this game. He's a very sturdy referee. He's played in from the near side, flicked in towards the middle. It's gone back out of play, and it is going to be, it's going to have a goal kick, and it's Atleti who come away with it. The referee and the linesman over on the far side trying to decide who got the final touch. It looked like it was Gundogan who did that, and with 90 seconds to play, it's still nothing to separate these two sides. The referee, as I mentioned, Istvan Kovac, it's his 34th Champions League game. He's only given 6 reds and 13 penalties in what has now been 34 games. Oshiem down the right hand side. Is there time for one more? Pulled back across, chance for the home side, pulled back, great save though from Oblak, and then it's cleared away before El Mali can get there. Oshiem did everything right, pulled it back in towards Sara. Sara strikes straight at Oblak. Oblak pushed it back into danger. El Mali was trying to get himself onto the end of it, but there was his opposite number, Hanko, just to clear the ball inside his own box, and that should have been a winner for Galatasaray. Lemina sends it from left to right, but it goes all the way out for a goal kick over on the far side, and with 30 seconds left, that's surely it. Osimhen did excellent down the right hand side to get ahead of Hanklo in the first place. It was pulled back in towards Sara, who took it on his weak right foot, tried to find the opposite corner. Oblak was there, push it back in towards danger, and it was Llorente, the man who gets it away, and the ball's gone over the top towards Griezmann, trying to keep himself offside against his opposite number on the far side. Lets it run in towards Cardozo with 5 minutes up, but it looks like it's going to be a free kick to Atleti late on, 15 yards off the left corner of the area. It'll be the final ball in towards the box for the away side. Oblak saving them with a fine save at one end. And now could Atleti win it at the other? Griezmann and Baena stand over this one. It's right on the left-hand side of the box. Griezmann will come away from it. It's now or never for Atleti. Baena will stand over it. The 24-year-old, it's his 5th Champions League appearance. There's 7 inside the box for Atleti, played in, cleared by the first man, and out it goes, and there is the full-time whistle from Istvan Kovac. A great affair here in Turkey, sees a share of the spoils. A point each between Galatasaray and